16-11, Heroic pick it up. They are your champions. They take down Astralis with ease, 2-0, and to think that was done off of a near flawless CT side. Some incredible calling from cadian coming out of this series, and as you said earlier, Harry, that was the lower bracket run of dreams for Heroic.
Yeah, man, it's not just winning here. It's not just putting a trophy on the table. It's who they beat. It's how they did it. This was a monumental effort out of Heroic. It was a tournament that they were destined to win. Some said they had to win to justify this team, and they've been able to do it despite being on the back foot since day one.
Yeah, commiserations for Astralis. That one has to hurt. They put up a fight. They made it close, at least in that map, but ultimately it's Heroic, the team that always were supposed to win, the only top 10 team at the event. They may have fielded an L to Fnatic on day one, but otherwise flawless on their run through the rest of the Pinnacle Cup. And that's got to feel good, right? Heroic, a team that's had trouble on stage matches before. They beat their demons, they put it together, and they established Danish dominance once more.
Yeah, man, the uncrowned kings of Denmark now really usurping that throne and looking to take it all home. It is one hell of a sight to see, man. And they should be nothing but proud as to how they've put this one together.
Yeah, give them a clap, folks. They've earned your respect today. Glaive as well. Knows when the challenge was too much, too tough. And cadian at the helm of all of this, right? He's the one who's kept this brotherhood together through thick and thin. Heroic has certainly had their fair share of problems over these last couple of years, but despite all of that, no changes needed, and maybe a brighter future for a team that we've yet to see lift these trophies and find success on stages. Maybe today is their day after all, and maybe today is the start of something new. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the victors of the Pinnacle Cup Championship. You know who it is. It's Heroic.
I'm going to sneak in here really quickly. We want to chat to you guys before you celebrate with your photos. cadian, that was a dominating 2-0 win. And if any game was ever going to make a statement, that was one hell of a statement to make.
It sure was. It's so deserved that this team finally gets a trophy. Maybe it's one of the smaller ones, but this crowd in Lund, they make it sound like it's a big one. Thank you, guys.
I mean, cadian's touched on it, but I'm going to run on over here to the coach. Exists to win this with this team in front of a Swedish crowd. What does this mean to you and to all the boys?
It means a lot. Winning on the home soil, it's special. And winning the first LAN trophy with Heroic, it's amazing.
Does this shut up the critics now? It shows that Heroic can cross the line. I've given you all a lot of a hard time about that during this week. You've proven you can now. What's the next step?
I mean, the experts are always going to hate us, but yeah, we're going to continue, and this is just the beginning.
Gents, well done. The crowd here wants to celebrate. Paula, I think I want to celebrate too, so I'm going to hand this one over to you.
Tonight we all celebrate Counter-Strike at the end of the Pinnacle Cup Championship 2022. But to the victor, the spoils. Heroic fought their way through this tournament, falling into the lower bracket. But now, when it's all said and done, They reign as the kings of the North.
What an incredible journey these guys have had throughout ups and downs, throughout criticisms, throughout drama, throughout vendettas. It's been a crazy, crazy time for these guys. And my goodness, this could not have come at a better time for them. This trophy is so freaking deserved.
Golden, it's been a common theme that we've mentioned about Heroic, that this Pinnacle Cup Championship was an important win, and they've achieved that. Golden, at the spot that Heroic are now, do we see that there's even more potential to be reached?
So yeah, they've broken their barrier. So why they got criticism for it before was just because it was such a good team, and you know, you don't want that to go to waste. They're dominating online, and that now them breaking the LAN barrier that it never could cross over, it's gotta feel good for the players, you know, and they can go home and feel good about it. Not just because this was a one-time thing. I think they can repeat this, and this is where we want to see them, because this team, there's incredibly talented players there, and they're so versatile, all of them. And I mean, it's good to watch them, and I enjoy watching them because they have this fun CS that's going on, and yeah, and as you say, they seem to be the villains of CS right now. But honestly, you want to see the villains win as well.
A huge shout out to our crowd, by the way, that turned out in spades today to witness this Danish derby. And you can see Heroic enjoying the spoils of war, which don't only come in cash money. You know, seeing those fans signing those autographs after you've lifted your first trophy, it's got to be an amazing feeling. One of the best, perhaps, that Heroic have had.
It really has to be, right? I think every single one of these players have got reasons why they've wanted to lift this today. And when it comes to the squad in general, I think, just like Golden said, they already had a very fun way of playing Counter-Strike. They already had a very creative way of playing Counter-Strike, and one which people thought would be game-changing for the Counter-Strike scene in general. But it did lackluster in LAN events, and I think now, with the experience they've gathered, I think this is a really good point where we may be seeing more of them. So good signs to come for sure. I do want to mention that Astralis did give it a good fight. Yes, it was a 2-0. I think we've seen good notes from Astralis throughout this tournament. I think Config has really stood up, and I'd love to see more of this guy. But yeah, I think Heroic just were a level above. They've solidified that in front of a crowd finally, so it's really good to see.
Golden, what should Astralis be leaving Pinnacle Cup Championship with? What should they be thinking about going forward? As Pavlos mentioned, Config was able to rise to the occasion in this final. Were there any other cracks that you saw that maybe they should patch up going into the future?
I think the chemistry felt a bit off. I felt like their T side was not there. It's mainly about like how they're approaching certain scenarios, and they're, you know, let's take a Heroic for example. If one of the Heroic players in a fight, they immediately join up together and take that fight as a team. And when I see Astralis, I feel like they kind of fall into, you know, dying one by one on their T side, which for me is a huge problem. Like, maybe they need to work on their spacing, they need to work on their communication, and staying calm and working as a team. Yeah, I mean, Astralis, you have Glaive, and I think they know their problems, and getting to a final is not bad. It's worse than getting out the groups or whatnot.
I think it's very easy to say that Heroic look like a damn good team.